watching the series, you'll know two things right off the bat. Number one, I am terrible at predictions. I feel like if I predict something to happen, the exact opposite will happen. What you'll also realize is that I swore up and down that UGA cannot win the national championship, that it would not happen. And I even made a follow-up video saying like, oh, we did it, UGA's out, they can't do it. UGA came into the SEC championship at number 6, which I expected them to play Alabama. And if they had played Alabama, I don't know if they would have done so well. But they played Auburn, who they also should not have beaten, seeing as that earlier in the year, Auburn beat them 40-something to very little. Georgia came away with 28-7, and UGA is in the playoffs. So, most likely UGA will win the national championship now. But if I predict that, then what's going to happen, right? I've already predicted. It probably won't. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let things pan out. But just letting you know, I've been dead wrong on everything that I've said, and I've said up and down that UGA cannot win the national championship. So I'm going to stick by that, and if they win, you'll know why. So, oh my god, it's unbelievable. I can't believe this. But in other news, Clemson absolutely destroyed Miami with a 38-3 win. The only reason why Miami put up any points on the board at all is because they kicked a field goal for no reason other than to keep the 0 off the board. Clemson ran away with that one, which as a Florida State fan, I couldn't be happier. I just wanted, out of everything that's happened, you know, this has been the worst year for Florida State fans, but let me just tell you, we beat Florida for, I think, the 5th or 6th time in a row. We also beat Florida in basketball. Florida has not beaten Florida State in basketball or football since 2013, I'm pretty sure. And Miami is not going to the playoffs. So, and we also got the longest bowl streak. We'll get into that later. So, you know, I'm content. It's not as bad as it could have been. So, UCF beat Memphis in a big game, which makes them undefeated still. I think they're the only. Let me look at the rankings. They are the only remaining undefeated team in the top 25, and they didn't make the playoffs. I said they wouldn't, but I really wish they did. That would have been really cool. But if they keep it up next year, which they probably won't, seeing as they just lost their coach, but if they do pull off another outstanding season next year, they will definitely be in the playoffs. But Alabama got put in, so let's look at the playoffs. We have Clemson at number 1, Oklahoma at number 2, Georgia at number 3, and Alabama at number 4. So Oklahoma has to play Georgia. I think Georgia's a better team, but I think Oklahoma is projected to win. Clemson plays Alabama, which they played the last 2 years, and Alabama won the first year. This is the national championship the last 2 years. Alabama won the first one, Clemson won the second one. There's a tiebreaker game. Who's going to win this one? They're both, well, Clemson's 12-1, Alabama's 11-1. But Alabama's loss was to Auburn, who is number 7, and Clemson's loss was to Syracuse, which is unranked. So Alabama's got better losses than Clemson, but Clemson has a better strength of schedule. So that's why Clemson's number 1, Alabama's number 4. Clemson's been looking strong, and they've been looking hot in their past few games. They've been scoring. There's been a large margin of victory in the past games that Clemson's had. Plus, this is pretty much a rivalry game, honestly, with Clemson and Alabama. he's probably going to win the Heisman. Hey, I'm going to make this prediction now. Baker Mayfield winning the Heisman, so that could be another prediction I get right. So Baker Mayfield wins the Heisman. I'm going to say UGA beats Oklahoma, though. Well, let's see. Well, alright, I'm not going to say that, because if I say that UGA beats Oklahoma, then I contradict my, never mind. UGA can still beat Oklahoma and lose the national championship. I'm going to predict that UGA beats Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield wins the Heisman, and despite the Heisman, he loses to Georgia. Georgia's in the national championship. I'm not going to say against who, but they lose against whoever that is. I don't want to contradict anything here. So let's talk about Florida State for a bit, because I am a Florida State fan, and there's been some interesting stuff going on in Florida State. So, Florida State has beaten UL Monroe, which was a rescheduled game. But before the game, Jimbo Fisher left Florida State for Texas A&M, which wouldn't be, too big of a problem. Like, it happens, but the way he left wasn't great. He stopped contacting recruits. We lost 3 recruits in one day. He just kind of pouted around and threw his Christmas tree out the window, and we don't really like that. So he left. All the assistant coaches are pretty much just friends of Jimbo, so I don't know what that does to that. But we played, when we played at UL Monroe, we played Coach Odell H. I forgot what his last name is, but he was the assistant defensive line coach for Florida State, and he played for Florida State, and he is a Seminole through and through. He loves the school and he loves the program, and it's a good juxtaposition to Jimbo Fisher, who was just kind of in there for the money. So I'm really glad that he got his game to be head coach. I wouldn't pick anybody else for head coach for that game, and so he came off with a W. They threw the Gatorade on him. It was just a nice sight to see. But that was really cool. So that puts Florida State at 6-6. We do get a bowl game, which will put us at 36 straight bowl games, passing Nebraska's 35. And this puts us at not only the longest running. Let me put it this way. Not only the longest bowl streak in football history, but the longest active bowl streak also. So it could keep continuing to go. I have seen, ever since we posted this on Twitter, a lot of Virginia Tech fans getting really salty about this, because Virginia Tech thinks that they have the longest active bowl streak, and it made me do a little bit of research, because this is pretty interesting. In 2005, Florida State played their bowl game, and they won their bowl game. Alright, so let me rewind a little bit. Virginia Tech fans say that the Florida State bowl streak ended in 2005, and they are no longer the longest active bowl streak holder or the longest bowl streak holder in history. They think that Virginia Tech is the third longest in history and the number 1 most active. But in actuality, they're 4th and 2nd, behind Florida State, of course. And let me tell you why. In 2005, Florida State played their bowl game, and they won their bowl game. But several years later, due to I think it was academic, unsportsmanship, whatever. Basically, people were cheating in the classroom, nothing to do on the field. They weren't taking performance-enhancing drugs or anything like that. They were just having academic issues. And the NCAA, to punish Florida State, made, I believe it was 12 games. They made their victories void. our season. Very rocky mid to late season, but I'm content with this ending. Getting the streak. We got Miami out of the playoffs. Thank goodness. So all is well in Tallahassee at the moment. As well as it could be, I guess. We have a new coach now. Let me see. It is I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Taggart. Coach Willie Taggart, from Oregon, who came in. So he's definitely qualified. I'm very interested to see how he does. We have very talented backs. Cam Akers. We have a lot of talented freshmen. We have Cam Akers coming in. No, I mean, he's already there. We have Cam Akers for next year. We have James Blackman again. We've got a lot of talent that he can use. So Florida State's days are not over by any means. But again, no predictions on this channel for Florida State. But I can say that we will probably be looking, most likely, be looking up in the next coming years. So, Ermont Lane actually tweeted out, mark my words, Florida State will be good next year or something like that. So, but real quick before I end this video, Derwin James, our DB from Florida State and arguably the #1 player in NCAA football right now. He is leaving for the draft. He has declared for the draft, I believe, today. So, all best of luck to Derwin James. I'll be watching him as well as Dalvin Cook and Jalen Ramsey and all the other Seminoles in the NFL. So, Derwin James is a lot of fun to watch, and I can't wait to see him play at the next level. So, hopefully the Falcons pick him up. That would be incredible, but probably not. So, in fact, I'm going to predict it. This is an official Friggs ASMR prediction.